But I learned a lot of my own. It's all about learning. It's all about
yeah, completely agree with that.
you're learning your prejudices and trying to go overcome them.
Isn't that something that crops up a lot in casting? I mean, you look for reasons to reject someone, even based on their headshot. You say,
Basically, when they
not
walk in the
pretty
door.
enough, not butch enough.
They don't say a line, and they walk in the door, and you already made a decision about it.
Isn't it fucked up if you are gay that you say you could? That's bullshit. It's sort of a.
I hear that a lot from gay actors I know, that even when they go in and read for gay casting directors or gay directors, it's almost they do better with straight people.
Agreed.
More questions right here.
We had a panel yesterday, Lemmy Shawn, and it was with Peter Bratt and Benjamin Bratt. And do you see more films, like with your film and films of color, do you see them a little bit more coming out because of, I don't want to say exclusiveness, but do you see them more coming out of the trend of the independent spirit, moving more towards that? Because it seems like everyone is trying to drop labels, gay, black, lesbian, but are trying to incorporate that more in a melding of all the issues, whether you're gay or black, or like in Dare, trying to make it more universal. So do you see a trend in that happening more in independent?
I think my kids say it all. My kids are 13, as I mentioned, and they are, they didn't understand my big deal about Obama being president. They just simply couldn't understand why it was. They said, "Dad, you're antiquated. Why can't he be president of the United States? Why can't he be president of the United States?" Because it is my experience that it's completely illogical. It made absolutely no sense at all. They are the future. They are with two parents that are men. They are the future. They don't see color. Their thinking is such that we are in a different generation. We've lived it. He's changing, really changing how America's minds will think. So I think that translates down to cinema even.
But even on the resistance, I still feel it. The resistance is there. I don't think, and I made this point out, movies like La Mission, movies like Push, they need to be there, but I still think that the resistance for that is there. There's not enough black faces. There's not enough Latin faces, especially in the gay community, that are out there that are speaking and telling our stories. It's kind of like,
well, we're not commercial. And if we are commercial, then it really is. It's a great look. Brokeback Mountain is an example of. I couldn't get that after Monsters Ball. I had that movie. I had the rights. I couldn't get it made. So I did Woodsman. I couldn't get it made, and God bless homeboy who got it made. Whatever his name is. No, he was the director, but the producer. Yeah. God bless.
Do you think it was a resistance to, when you had it? Was it a resistance to your color, or was it a resistance to being gay?
Both. It's a gay film. It's a gay film. The thing is that there's this concept in the studio that anything is off isn't commercial. To the left is a commercial, gay stories. So God bless that the film was able to be made. And
how much of it do you feel is in part because the people who are making these decisions aren't necessarily black or gay?
But, a lot of them are gay, frankly.
Hello.
Yeah, and I have to say, in fact, again, not naming any names, there was this one actor who came in, he blew all of our minds. He's closeted and gay. His agents are all gay, and they were the ones telling him not to do it. So, I have no patience for saying, just a bunch of white men making decisions. No, a lot of them are gay. A lot of them have internalized this. So they want to keep their jobs. That's kind of the bottom line. So that's kind of where they're coming from. But there are people who are willing to take chances and risks. Otherwise, these movies wouldn't get. Even like you're saying, Brokeback Mountain. Somebody had to push really hard, but it got out there and it got made. So let's continue that trend and not fall back in the trenches and say fuck them all. I don't think I think you can change things from the outside to a certain extent. You have to fight from the outside, but you have to fight from the inside too, because otherwise you're giving up a piece of the pie, the biggest piece of the pie.
it's absolutely incredible to be here, because you know, you guys have had to fight for so much of what you now have, and it sounds like you still have so much of a fight left. And it's just amazing for me from the UK to watch that, because I'm not aware that we have to fight anymore. There doesn't seem to be a problem with being a gay person. Or, you know, it all comes down to, if you're confident about yourself and you love yourself, people respect and love you. And it's kind of really blown me away, because I was brought up in Peckham, which it's not quite Harlem, but we had our murder mile. You know, so I was brought up in a pretty tough place, and now I live in a kind of affluent place, you know, for the kid and all the rest of it. You know, I've seen a lot, and in the UK, we don't have this big problem. If it's a good movie, it's a hell of a good movie. I'll watch any great movie, gay, straight, doesn't matter, and a mix. And right now, I say, a lot of the UK movies, I'm finding the scripts they get, every single time, there's just a melting pot. And again, it doesn't matter. And in fact, I will look at a black part, and I might want to put a white person in the black part, and you know what? I'm probably going to look to put a black person in one of the white parts, and I'm going to mix them up, because it just gets so much more from the actors. Because, you know, we are in this huge melting pot, and I guess you guys are struggling to kind of, you know, in some ways you're polarized in trying to find that kind of message. And I just find, for me, it's so refreshing in the UK. I don't have to, but maybe that's not because, maybe I'm not black, maybe I'm not, but we don't have that prejudice at the moment. I did.
Well, I'm not polarized.
My very first job, I got my first job, and I asked later on, why did I get my first job? And they said, because we wouldn't employ a black man. And that hit me like a hammer blow, right between the eyes. I had no reason. He was better qualified. And that was a major marker for me. But then I ended up by going to a school which was kind of predominantly black, and we were just friends, and there was no room for any kind of prejudice. And I, you know, so it's amazing to hear you guys.
I'm not. You ain't gotta give me no praise, because I'm not polarized. I use my blackness and my gayness to bust open doors, kick the fucker right open, and take what I want, snatch it. I use it to my advantage. As a matter of fact, I take advantage of my blackness and my gayness to get whatever the fuck I want. I just take it. You know?
In what ways, Lee?
That's cool.
Any way I can.
Yeah, I saw both Push and Darren, was very pleasantly surprised. There's a line specifically that Ben's mother says that caught me, and I think was lightly addressed here, the generational gap. And she says that, you know, all parents want their children to rebel a little bit. And one of the things that I found interesting, in both Push and Dare, the characters are rebelling. Oddly enough, in Push, you know, she's rebelling against what most parents typically want their children to do, just go to school. But I found it interesting that in Dare, the gay component, which I think, at least for me, it was very evident the mom knew what had happened,
Yes.
was not his rebellion that happens in the film. And that she is relatable to the younger people, unlike the other parents are, and unlike her parents are. And by the same token, when she finally goes with the lesbian couple, that's not her rebelling moment. And I wanted to know where you see that converging in terms of the future of filmmaking and the future of covering LGBT people, that you deal with the issue of rebelling in both films, but homosexuality was not the actual rebelling moment.